Ruben Amorim will make his managerial debut for Manchester United against Ipswich Town, hoping to kick off his tenure with a strong performance. He inherits a team in good form under interim manager Ruud van Nistelrooy, who led the side to 3 wins and a draw in their last 4 matches. However, Amorim faces a significant challenge. With ongoing injury concerns, Mason Mount's return to action has been a welcome boost for United. After suffering an earlier injury this season, Mount was back in the squad for United's recent 3-0 victory over Leicester City, although he didn't feature off the bench. His appearance in the Europa League match against PAOK showcased his improving fitness. If available for Ipswich, Mount could provide Amorim with crucial attacking options. Lisandro Martinez's situation remains troubling. The defender aggravated a back injury during the Leicester game, which worsened during the international break. Argentina's coach, Lionel Scaloni, confirmed Martinez was unfit for national duties following tests. A defensive cornerstone for United, Martinez's availability for the Ipswich clash remains uncertain, leaving Amorim awaiting further updates. Kobbie Mainoo, the talented young midfielder, has been sidelined since early October with a hamstring injury. Although progress has been reported, Ruud van Nistelrooy indicated before the international break that Mainoo hasn't resumed full training. A return for the Ipswich match appears improbable. Luke Shaw and Lenny Yoro, who have yet to feature this season due to injuries, recently resumed team training. While this is encouraging news, Amorim is expected to ease them back cautiously. A place on the bench for the Ipswich match might be their most realistic involvement. Harry Maguire, still recovering from his injury against Aston Villa, continues indoor rehabilitation at Carrington. Tyrell Malacia, meanwhile, recently discussed his struggles during an 18-month absence due to knee surgeries. Though he appeared for the Under-21s in the EFL Trophy, he remains far from ready for senior team action. Amorim faces a challenging start at Portman Road, with the medical team's updates on Martinez, Mount and Mainoo likely shaping his approach. Despite the injury setbacks, Amorim can draw confidence from United's strong form under Ruud van Nistelrooy. Fans eagerly anticipate this new chapter, hoping for a winning start to Amorim's reign. While injuries may complicate team selection, a spirited performance against Ipswich could lay the foundation for a successful era under the Portuguese coach. The sun had barely risen over Carrington, but the Manchester United training ground was already alive with energy. Players whispered among themselves, excited yet curious about what lay ahead. They had heard the rumours Ruben Amorim, the Portuguese mastermind, was different. At precisely 9 AM, Amorim strode onto the pitch, with a confidence that immediately commanded respect. His whistle hung loosely around his neck, and a clipboard filled with diagrams and notes was tucked under his arm. The players could sense it, this was no ordinary training session. "All right everyone, gather round," Amorim called out. His voice was calm but carried an authority that silenced the chatter. As the players formed a circle, he laid out his plan. "We're going to play football the way it's meant to be played," he began, his words sparking a ripple of excitement. "Fast, fearless and together. From today, we start building something unstoppable." Amorim's methods were unlike anything the squad had experienced before. Training began with an intense rondo session, but it wasn't the typical warm-up they were used to. Amorim's version demanded precision, speed and constant communication. Laughter and frustration mixed as players tried to keep up with the blistering pace. Then came tactical drills. Using coloured cones and markers, Amorim broke down positional play in ways that left even the most seasoned players impressed. He moved among them, correcting stances, pointing out spaces to exploit and praising quick thinking. "Good, Bruno, that's what I want to see. Rashford, when you make that run, trust your instincts," he shouted, his enthusiasm infectious. For the defenders, Amorim introduced a drill designed to replicate high-pressure scenarios. Lisandro Martinez and Raphael Varane locked eyes as they prepared for the challenge. "Stay compact, communicate and anticipate," Amorim instructed Dot. As the session progressed, the players found themselves pushing harder, smiling more and rediscovering the joy of the game. The final segment of training was a scrimmage, but with a twist. Amorim introduced rules that forced the team to adapt, think creatively and trust one another. Goals weren't celebrated by individuals, but by the entire team. When Garnacho scored a screamer, Amorim clapped and yelled, "That's it! That's the Manchester United spirit!" By the end of the session, the players were exhausted but exhilarated. The camaraderie was palpable, and even the younger players felt like they belonged. News of the extraordinary session spread quickly. Staff members who watched from the sidelines couldn't contain their excitement. "I've never seen anything like it," one of them admitted. Back at Old Trafford, fans began sharing clips and photos from the day. The hashtag Amorim era started trending, with supporters marvelling at the energy and passion radiating from the squad. "This is it," one fan tweeted. "This is the Manchester United we've been waiting for." As the players left the pitch, drenched in sweat but smiling, Amorim stood watching them, a satisfied look on his face. He knew this was just the beginning, but he also knew the foundation had been laid. "See you all tomorrow," he said with a nod, "and come ready to work." For the first time in years, Manchester United felt like Manchester United again. Ruben Amorim wasn't just a coach, he was a man on a mission to restore the pride, passion and power of one of the greatest clubs in football history. The Amorim revolution had begun. Edwin van der Sar has made a heartwarming to the pitch in a charity match for Ajax following a brain hemorrhage last year. The iconic Dutch goalkeeper, 54, played for a raft of top clubs during his illustrious career, including the Amsterdam Giants and Manchester United, who were his last club before he retired from professional football. Van der Sar chose to transition into an executive role after hanging up his gloves and worked his way up through the ranks at Ajax. He eventually became the club's chief executive officer before falling ill. Thankfully, the Dutchman has recovered well since suffering a brain hemorrhage whilst on holiday in Croatia last year. And Van der Sar was even well enough to don the goalkeeping gloves one more time this weekend. The former Old Trafford favourite was one of a number of players who rolled back the years to feature in a charity match. Pitting a team of Ajax legends against an opposing team from Real Madrid for the former's 125th anniversary celebrations. Van der Sar had earlier shared a post on social media hyping the event, sharing a picture of a ball at his feet. He said last session done before the Ajax Legends match this Sunday versus Real Madrid. Anyone else looking forward to the game? The sight of Van der Sar playing football again, albeit in a one-off game, will be a welcome sight to many Manchester United fans. They gave their former goalkeeper a rousing reception when he returned to Old Trafford for the fixture against Aston Villa on Boxing Day last year, while still recovering from his brain hemorrhage. Van der Sar won a staggering 11 trophies during his 6 years at Old Trafford after joining the Red Devils from Premier League rivals Fulham. After returning to his role as Ajax CEO following his recovery, Van der Sar stood following the Dutch Giants' calamitous 2022-23 campaign. In a statement, he explained after almost 11 years on the board, "I am done. We have experienced wonderful things together, but it has also been an incredibly tough period. I'm very grateful for the people I have met and worked with during my second career at Ajax and what we have achieved and been through together. I feel the need to take some distance, to get some rest and to do other things. It doesn't feel good to take decisions about the future of this wonderful club in the coming period. That is why I have decided to resign." Victor Gyökeres admits he hasn't been asked to join Ruben Amorim at Manchester United, but said we'll see when asked about a potential reunion. Gyökeres fired Amorim's Sporting to the Primera Liga title last season, scoring a league-leading 29 goals and 14 more in cup competitions. He already has 23 from just 18 outings this term, including a hat-trick in the memorable 4-1 Champions League victory against Manchester City. The Lisbon side are 6 points clear at the top of their league table after 11 matches and have 10 points from a possible 12 in Europe. If they're to keep up their fast start though, they'll need to do so without Amorim. United made a mid-season swoop for the 39-year-old head coach, who will take charge of his first Premier League match on November 24th. In the meantime though, the international break has given players from both clubs to speak about what Amorim's move might mean, and it was no surprise to see such questions put to Gyökeres. Amorim probably has some strikers there already, so we'll see, the Swedish international said, as reported by Fotbollskanalen. No, he hasn't asked me to join him. It's fun, but nothing I attach any importance to because it's talk and nothing concrete. Gyökeres was also asked more generally about Amorim's exit. It's very sad that he's leaving, but of course we understand his decision, he said. He has of course meant a lot to me considering that he gave me that chance and that he made me develop so much. Now we look forward to working with the new coach. United aren't the only club to find themselves linked with Gyökeres after his impressive exploits in Portugal. However, they look unlikely to face competition from Barcelona. He's a good player, he has been scoring goals for a long time in Portugal, Barca's sporting director Deco told Mundo Deportivo. We know him like others, but he's not our priority at the moment. We're not looking for a number 9 to replace Robert Lewandowski because we want him to remain happy, scoring goals and at least stay for another season. We've won things and he's happy to be here. We're not going to talk about any player now. Barcelona striker Lewandowski has thrived after being reunited with his former Bayern Munich manager Hansi Flick. He has 19 goals from 17 appearances in all competitions this term, with 14 in La Liga, 6 more than any other player, to help the Catalan club open up a 6-point lead over second-place Real Madrid.